on the North American server. Spawning here in the bottom, pardon me, bottom left corner of the map, playing for Root Gaming, root for root, give it up for Iaguz.
The top right, the red Protoss, it's Welmu.
Alright, so even I can respect that defense out of Welmu. We talked a lot about like the ifs, ands, or buts for Iaguz that game, but that was a very good read on the situation, and I kind of feel like this is not the first time in this series where he's just gotten away with a lot of scouting information. I don't know if Iaguz just needs to start sniping off the observers better, or perhaps being less obvious in his moves, but I mean, it's been really hard to catch Welmu off guard. I'm thinking back to like games we see with players like Xenocider, right? Always seems to catch the Protoss player off guard. Yeah.
I would say if we were to ask Iaguz like what went wrong in that, you know, maybe he'd say Protoss first because he's that type of guy, but then he would say like I let the observers see the SV pool and the ghosts and get the EMPs on the sentries. You know, like those are the two big things that really let Welmu win. To be patient, to be calm, to say like I need the stalkers in front, everything else in back, I need to go back to my natural base. Like those were really two big deals, and it's so hard to say like, well, I'm gonna do better next time because, well, are you really gonna get an opportunity to SV pool again that's looking pretty far into the future, especially like a ghost EMP SCV pool? I mean, am I going to be any better at getting the observers? I don't really know. It depends on, you know, can I see them or not? They seem to be kind of random when they do that. Or good guesses if it's a very obvious map like Overgrowth. You could literally just see exactly where each observer was because that game was so that map was so played out.
Well, guys, I want to remind everybody, because this is the semifinals. As soon as this semifinals is done, we're gonna do the vetoes. Or actually, there's no vetoes, it's just picks. 'Cause it's the best of 7 in the finals. We get the picks sorted, we get the servers sorted, and we'll get into that grand finale after this is concluded ASAP, which means you've only got a very small amount of time to still enter the watch contest giveaway. If you don't know what I'm talking about, !watch contest, one word in chat, just like this. It'll link you to the Wood Watch's website, and there'll be a little contest form to fill out. For those who don't know, it's a $200 giveaway through the website. The email you enter, I've been assured by the sponsor, will not spam you guys with a bunch of BS, but instead be used to contact the winner of the watch. So again, there's a lot of watches on the website for under $200. You can easily get a free watch, a free wood watch, or you can use it to apply to a much more expensive watch and get it for much cheaper. However you use it is up to you, but I do hope that whoever wins this will be here live, because if you're not, when we announce the winner in game number 1 of the final match, if you're not here to claim it, we will move on to the next person.
I can't wait till that happens too. I'm kind of excited to see like the reaction of the person. You know, it's usually like, oh god, I never win these things. Oh goodness.
I can't believe I'm so lucky.
I hope it's me.
I think there's always that one positive reaction, right? And then it's the other 3,000 people that are like PJ Salt in chat.
Yeah, that's
they didn't win. I know I'm gonna be that guy.
No! Yeah. Oh, well, we have a little bit of a mix-up here for Iaguz. Say a little bit, because you do go for the 14cc in the very first game, but no Widowmine drops at all here. Someone has nothing to worry about, but he's opening up with a robo anyways. Oh, if he Immortal Sentry busts, because it's Expedition Lost, I am going to be so disapproving.
I would actually love to see that happen, though, because
I'm angry, I'm disappointed.
Okay, you say that, right? And as a Terran player, I should agree with you 100 times over. But that's a build that actually, I'd say, takes a fairly large amount of skill to pull off effectively against someone like Iaguz. So if Welmu was able to do that, I mean, he's not going that direction, but if he was, like, that would be crazy to watch.
I mean, it would have been a good move. I don't want to spoil SSL, so I won't. Darn it. Oh, well.
Well, you kind of just did.
It'd be very effective.
Just did. It's like, we're talking about...
An Immortal Sentiolin was used in the SSL, guys. I'm sorry I spoiled the world for you.
Yeah, and it won very clearly by the way you were talking about it.
So? Like...
It's like, hey, Zombie-Go, you want to talk about training camp some more?
I also want to say that the Protoss did not win 3-0. I'm sorry I ruined life for you in a 2-day-old tournament.
We need to send... Okay, you know how, like, works have, like, sensitivity training? Like, I'd probably go for sexual harassment, sure, but, like, you'd have to go for, like, spoiler harassment or something. Like,
and that really isn't bad.
We'd be in like 2 different conference rooms that are like right next to each other too.
I try and base this off of like how disappointed would I be if I heard the spoiler. He's like, I guess actually spoiled the day of on his Twitter, and I was like, damn it, that was my bad though for checking Twitter and not watching the VODs first.
Well, ripping pepperonis, we got a Colossus drop coming up again. This did happen earlier, and again, Gravitic Drive being paired up with it, so it moves really fast. I think the idea of the Colossus though is, you want to, as a Terran player from this, minimize losses. You're not going to catch that Warp Prism too easily unless Welmu's miscontrolling it, and that's not going to be easy to deal with. But you can certainly minimize losses by not leaving Marines clumped up in the middle of nowhere, by pulling SCVs back in ample time. I mean, this is it's not fun to deal with, but it is a pretty big dedication on Welmu's part, and it's going to be a little bit hard for him to recover if this were to go down.
I'm not sure what the fascination is from Welmu on the Colossus drops. Again, they were... Even when they were like kind of first introduced, there was like once in a blue moon on the very right correct map. But I guess he just likes opening with this because it'll lead into like a Colossus all in later, and you shouldn't lose the Colossus in War Prism. Like they should not have Vikings out, and you should definitely not lose it to Marines or turrets. So I guess in that sense I can understand. But usually we would see like just like a simple Zealot warp in to kind of distract, and then you move in with the Colossus all in as opposed to this. It is going to be a lot of gateways. He's going to have upgrades. He's going to have blink. Iaguz was without scouting this entire game, so he has a couple of cautionary turrets.
Yeah.
He's definitely not expecting this. This is his entirely out of position.
Okay, so the Colossus takes a bit of damage from the missile turret. That's always a little bit awkward to see. Quickly abandon ship with that warp in too, because the Marines are already here. I mean, with Stim, you can start chasing back the Warp Prism if it hangs around too long. But again, a lot of that kind of goes to, will Welmu mess this up, rather than can Iaguz catch it? For those asking, by the way, how to claim the watch if you win, basically if we announce your name and we're like, hey, Zombie Grub won the watch, Jansoon will be looking for Zombie Grubs in chat to type, hey, I won, yay, or I don't know, something like that. So it'll be pretty obvious.
You're raising my hopes, bro.
I know, me too, because I'm trying not to say my name because I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, you're jinxing me?
Sorry.
I gave you a hot girlfriend a couple casts ago, remember? You owe me.
The wish hasn't delivered yet. I owe you nothing. Cash on delivery, Zombie Grub. None of this prepay BS.
Anyways. Iaguz is getting a third base. He has not really been suspicious, I guess, of a Colossal in quite yet. But
yeah,
he's...
The drop didn't really reveal much of anything. You see 5 gateways, 12 minutes in the game. That's actually not that suspicious. That's production.
Yeah,
it's everything behind the mineral lines you'd really want to see. And this is your borderline argument of saying, like, Iaguz scan, man. Like, okay, the Marine sees the Colossus coming in the middle of the map. Now he knows what's up.
He doesn't really have to throw in a bunch of bunkers to try and prepare for this. He just needs to get a good concave and a couple of Vikings outs. And honestly, if you can meet them halfway, that's sometimes even better. They're just staying behind and trying to do the solid defense. But Welmu does back off. Iaguz wants to make sure that he is committing, so he scans the third. That's nice. Yeah, that's definitely something you have to check. And also there's another Marine out to see, because this is what the Widowmine did on that game on Echo. Just kept checking, like, are you attacking? No? Yeah. Yes. Are you attacking? Yes. Like, he kept confirming.
Yeah, I mean, a Marine's 50 minerals is dirt cheap. It's way cheaper than scanning, even. With the Colossus drop kind of giving up, and it's just like a straight-up attack. War Prism going to be used for reinforcements here. For Iaguz, I mean, it's not really a back attack set up the same way. He's left some units over here towards the third that he might be able to concave in with. But this force is going to be really hard to fight with. I mean, Welmu has such a large army marching down the middle of the map right now, and 4 Colossus is nothing to ignore.
Yeah.
Oh, nice pick up on the War Prism, though. That's actually a pretty big deal. Even if he loses the squad for it, I'd say kind of worth it. That's the reinforcement line. There's no pylons on this side of the map.
Is he have another one? Oh, that's a Colossus coming across. Okay. That's 5 Colossus, and he's taking a fight in a chosen area.
Ooh, nice blink.
There's a lot of Vikings. There's not that much. Like 7. If the Blink Stalkers don't like immediately get on that, then there's 1 or 2 Colossus will die. But he needs a better concave than he has.
He's also taking these really awkward fights, like little bits at a time.
A
little bit late to get to the fight. Colossus, though, are going to get focused down by the first Viking shots. Stalker's the only thing to buffer for the army. There's no recall. Yes, he did. Auto attack hype. I mean, it looks like okay. Iaguz is going to trade this out, but can he deal with the Stalkers to finish this up? That second Widowmine says maybe. Takes out the last couple of the Stalkers, sorry, the Colossus is going to fall back with this rather than landing. Another Widowmine shot going to be great! Gets the Mothership Core too! And now he's just going to hold up in the natural.
Does he have any more Colossus on the way? He has 1 Colossus that has to walk across the field.
That's not going to happen. The Marauders should be able to push the back. Vikings landed on the ground. 1 Colossus is manageable. You can stim Marauders into 1 Colossus. But this is, I don't know when the pylon got slapped down there. Not enough medevacs, I'd say, to constantly stim like this. It's getting a little bit dangerous. The bio getting low. Here comes the Colossus.
This army is actually it looked big, but those Vikings were kind of fat. They're making it look better than it was. And well, in fact, they go down and they retreat.
I mean, Marauders are good against everything here, but there's no medevacs, and that's, I think, the real core of the problem. Meanwhile, Welmu does go for the third while this goes on. So for Iaguz' sake, you may think Welmu's just going for this big, crazy yell, and it's this or nothing, do or die, but really, he's not. He's got a third coming up behind it.
Even with the third, though, he is one good stim and concave away from losing this game. Like, he loses his army, it doesn't matter if you have a third, Protoss army is just way too hard to rebuild.
Yeah. And
that is going to be a lot of Marauders, and 2 medevacs even finally do pop out. But Iaguz is just, he's scared, man. He's down on his last life. He's lost the Colossus attacks before. He's right to be scared, but this is what, like, the Marines are trying to do. They're trying to confirm that it was an all-in. And he has no Marines going to that third now, so he's really just like, I don't know, are you all-in? Are you expanding? Like, what are you doing?
I don't mind. Not gonna get the hit it needs. I don't think one will realize the third is reestablished too. I mean, I guess probably not gonna do anything much more than commit to just to mules. A couple of Widowmines gonna be getting shots off over here too.
This is really well done by Welmu. I feel like this is like the most powerful thing that a Protoss has. Well, there's a lot of powerful things, but just the like the scare and expand tactic, you know, we'll call it, right? So like, you don't really want to be wasting scans, because Terrans are pretty greedy. If you don't have Marines already out on the map, it's unlikely you're going to see that there's a third base, and all they can really do is be like, well, you could be expanding, but I'm worried about right now, like losing right now. If you are expanding, maybe I'll be able to worry about that later. But by that point, they've already, you know, got it saturated, they've gotten up to 3 Colossus, it's annoying, but I guess I guess deal with it.
Well, just while we're waiting for some action to ramp up, I mean, Iaguz, by the way, not too far behind upgrades, but if Welmu gets to level 3 armor and Iaguz is stuck on 1-1, he's not even going to be able to deal with the Zealots anymore. But real quick, because people keep asking, Game 1 of the finals will start as soon as the series ends, pretty much. Give us, like, you know, 5 minutes for vetoes or whatever. It will be the winner of this series playing against Snoot in a best-of-7. And I know a lot of you guys just keep asking because you want to watch, but that will be, yeah, announced in Game 1.
Well, I guess looks to be setting up for their SE pool, honestly. Like, I know it's a ways off as he's getting an armory, so maybe he's still going to get the +2, but he also has a Ghost Academy. Again, most of the games in PvT these days aren't about getting as quickly as possible to Storm. Or maybe the games versus Desro yesterday has him thinking they might be now? I don't know.
Well, there's certainly enough stalkers to make sure the Vikings can't just get a bunch of free kills, but they're still going to go for the attack anyways. I mean, if you're shooting the Vikings, you're not fighting the Marauders. Comes in on the bottom side.
This is nice.
The Photon Overcharge actually distracts this first assault, but, you know, the Vikings are still getting the shots they need. Zealots get hit by that Widowmine. Basically, a ghetto EMP goes off. Last Colossus falls. Vikings going to start landing on the ground to get involved with the ground fight. So many Marauders just trucking through this, but the medevac count, non-existent. There's like 2 medevacs for this army, so if this goes on too long, this actually gets really bad for Iaguz.
It looks like Iaguz is going to be able to win here, though. Didn't need SCVs. He honestly didn't need the armory or the Ghost Academy either.
Counter boy pull.
But that is that's finesse, right? That's getting a good concave and finding a good position for your Vikings, winning over any type of brute force.
Photon Overcharge finally wears off, but again, a lot of these Marauders are so deadly low. Stalkers are actually getting kills, but I don't think they normally would. Nexus goes down. That's a big hit. Got the Widowmine repositioning himself to try and hit some of these darn Stalkers. Medevac sealing what little units there are left on the field. And that little is those 3 Stalkers. GG, ladies and gentlemen, nice. Iaguz will tie up the series 2-2. Now this is where loser's pick could have screwed him, because we don't know whether this would have been North America for the last game, Europe, depending on